Hi guys, it's Ben Heath, and in this video I'm going to talk about Facebook ads for e-commerce, and specifically I'm going to give you 4 keys to success. Now these 4 keys to success are not things that talked about a lot elsewhere. It's not something that a lot of Facebook advertisers talk about, but they make a really big difference. If you're running Facebook ad campaigns for an e-commerce business, whether it's your own or a client or something like that, I think you're going to find this tremendously valuable. They're all fairly easy to implement. And yeah, I think it's going to provide a lot of value. So before I get into those 4 keys to success, just want to very quickly ask you to smash a like on this video, click that like button. That would help me out and be much appreciated. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new and haven't done so already. Okay, so I'm in an example Facebook ad account here. It's going to help me demonstrate some of these keys to success that I want to share. And the first one is really sort of like a broad overview of your attitude towards Facebook advertising. What do you expect from a Facebook ad campaign? What do you hope to get from a Facebook ad campaign? Now, I've spoken to a lot of Facebook advertisers, a lot of people just getting into Facebook advertising, and they will often say things like, look, I'm not willing to pay more than 10% of the value of a customer in advertising costs. So for example, let's say you're an e-commerce business, you're selling a range of products, your average order value is $50. In that scenario, you'd be willing to pay a maximum of $5 to acquire a new customer. Now, wouldn't that be fantastic? Who wouldn't love to deliver a 10x ROAS whenever they run Facebook ad campaigns? Isn't that awesome? And it does happen, but it's very rare. It is not the norm. And I think if you go in with that attitude, you are not doing yourselves any favors over the long run. It's very difficult to consistently deliver a cost per purchase of $5. It is possible, but very difficult and very rare, particularly at scale and particularly over the long run. So what should you do instead? I am a big fan, and I think this is something that all e-commerce Facebook advertisers should try and keep in mind, that your initial target should be to break even on initial customer acquisition. So what does that mean? I'm not talking about if your average order value is $50, you spend $50 per new customer. I'm talking about spending, your average order value being $50, you still have to factor in your cost of goods, whatever you're paying the manufacturer, supplier, perhaps some delivery costs and things like that. But let's assume you've got like a 50% margin. So you're acquiring new customers $50 each. 50% of that is yours to keep, which is $25. Therefore, your target cost per purchase should be $25. And that means that you're basically acquiring new customers for free. You aren't making any money on them, but you aren't losing any money on them. Now that might sound like, what's the point? What's the point in running Facebook ad campaigns if we're not making any money on customers? And I can understand that attitude, but it's incorrect. And particularly over the long run, this has been shown to be very incorrect and very detrimental. There is a tremendous amount of value in acquiring new customers. Firstly, the vast majority of e-commerce businesses either have products that people will repeat purchase. So if you acquire a whole load of, if your business ticks that box, oh yes, our products are consumable, for example, and there's repeat purchase. If I could give you 10,000 new customers for free right now, that would be an amazing thing for your business. The amount of those people that are going to reorder is tremendous, okay? Even if you don't have a consumable product and people buy again, I'm sure you have other complementary products that perhaps someone bought something today, but they could buy other products of yours next week, next month, next year. That nearly all e-commerce businesses are going to have something along those lines is a part of their business. Now, if you can acquire a ton of customers, as I gave the 10,000 example, that is so beneficial over the long run. Often when you're running a Facebook advertising campaign, you have to choose between short-term profitability and scale. So we all know, or if you're new to Facebook advertising, you might not, but it's very well understood that if you run a campaign at $100 a day, your cost per purchase is almost certainly going to be less than if you're running a campaign at $2,000 a day. As you scale, you have to reach larger and larger audiences, people become less and less specific and less targeted, and your cost per purchase increases. So you can make the choice. We can keep our Facebook ad campaign operating at a really low level and generate a profit on each new customer, or we can go to the point where we break even, look to acquire an enormous customer base, and then in 6 months, definitely 12 months time, when you've been running a Facebook ad campaign at scale, acquiring tons of customers, you're then in an amazing situation where you can generate so many sales from your email list, emailing your existing customers, from retargeting existing customers as opposed to constantly going out to cold audiences on Facebook. I've seen businesses do this and then they launch a new product and it sells out immediately or within the first 24 hours or something because they've built that customer base. And I think that that's the attitude I want to get across. Everyone in in the sort of tech world and a lot of these very fast-growing, fast-paced companies that get access to external funding, whether they're venture-backed or have other sorts of investors, not only operate with this in mind, they go one step further. So we've worked with a number of companies that have external investment that are actually willing to make quite a big loss on the initial customer that they generate, in exchange for generating a boatload of customers really, really quickly. They're basically willing to make a loss. Now, obviously, when you have external finance, it's easy to do that. So I'm not necessarily recommending you do that yourself, but everyone can operate at break even. That's not, there's no money out of pocket for you, at least once averaged out, of course, once you've paid your Facebook ads and things like that, there's no money out of pocket for you. That is sustainable and you can keep going with that. The venture-backed companies often have a huge advantage because they can make that big loss, but they generate an enormous customer base. They, in effect, generate a ton of brand awareness whilst running their more direct-to-offer campaigns. They know that people are going to buy their products again, repeat custom. They know they're going to recommend it to friends and spread it via word of mouth. So whilst I appreciate that's not open to everyone, and I've never got any external investment in my business, had to grow organically, break even is the point at which you can do that. You can operate at break even. And the difference between needing to double your money on a Facebook ad campaign as an e-commerce business, let's say in the first year, and being willing to just break even might be the difference between you acquiring 1,000 customers in your first year and 10,000 customers in your first year. Or, your metrics may vary. It might be 10x that, might be less than that, depends on the price of your products, all that sort of stuff, your budgets and things like that. But that is such an important thing to get across. I know I'm sort of hammering this home, but have that attitude. Over the long run, you will win. Your customer is thinking, I need to make a profit. I need to make a profit in the short run. And you're not. You're happy to break even. In a year, 2 years' time, you will have 20, 40, 50 times as many customers and you'll win. Simple as that. Okay, so that's the first one. Right, I'm going to rattle through these a little faster because I delayed on that one a little bit. So it's somewhat similar to the breaking even. Well, it's a piece of it. The point at which you can break even or even do better on that on a Facebook ad campaign when it comes to e-commerce is obviously to do with your Facebook advertising. So that's going to be the big component pieces, right? Who you're targeting, what does your ad creative look like? But your average order value is the other massively important part. There's a lot of Facebook advertisers that have a cost per purchase of say $20 and they're like, how do I get that down to 15? I just need to get that down to 15. And they're trying all these things, testing stuff, creating your ad creative, recording videos, etc., etc. When actually it might be a lot easier for them to, instead of decreasing their cost per purchase by $5, increase their average order value by $5 or $10 or whatever, which will effectively do the same thing to how the finances look on your Facebook ad campaign. And this is so underutilized amongst Facebook advertisers, amongst people advertising e-commerce products, is using one-click upsells in order to increase your average order value. It is just such a no-brainer. I see it so rarely and it should be used just all the time. Now, I'm not talking about sort of more traditional upsells or old school upsells where, perhaps when someone's going through the checkout process, you then say, oh, would you like to add this to your order? Otherwise known as an order bump. I'm not talking about someone purchased something and then you're emailing them the next few days trying to get them to purchase something else. You can do those things as well. You can have an order bump, you can have an email autoresponder sequence that's trying to upsell your customers. But I'm talking about one-click upsells. So let's say someone goes through to your website, they purchase a pair of shoes, right? The thank you page, the next page those people are taken to after they purchase, entered in their payment details, they've purchased, boom, they're then presented with a page that you've probably seen these sort of things and they're often only used by expert marketers, but they should be used by far more people, as said, e-commerce providers, things like that, whereby the page is like, thank you for your purchase. Oh, by the way, would you like to add this to your order? It's fantastic. Here's a big discount because you just became a customer of ours, yada, yada, yada. And then they click one click. They don't need to enter in their details again. They click, it gets added to their cart, they get charged, and you massively increase your average order value. And this should not be underestimated. I've worked with lots of businesses where their initial offering, their initial product that's purchased is say $30, and they can double their average customer value all the way up to $60 with 3 or 4 upsells. You don't need to have 1, 3 or 4 upsells. That is such a huge component of improving your results as a Facebook advertiser for an e-commerce business, being able to scale. If you take your average order value from $30 to $60, that might mean you can take your acceptable cost per purchase from $15 to $30. And if you can pay $30 to acquire a customer as opposed to $15 to acquire a customer, you might be able to have a 10, 20x campaign. And as I've already mentioned, acquiring that many customers just does amazing things for you, for your business over the long run. So that's really important. So one-click upsells, how do you go about doing it, right? So I've got a couple of examples up here. Samcart offer one-click upsells, very, very easy to use. ClickFunnels offer one-click upsells, both pieces of software that I've used in the past. I just wanted to bring those up quickly. If you're using something like Shopify or any of these other e-commerce platforms, there are tons of like plugins and external software that you can just feed in. Just search for things like Shopify one-click upsell, and you should be able to implement that fairly easily. Technically, it's not that difficult, and it's so worth the time to go ahead and work that out. So that's key to success number 2, is increase average order value as much as possible with one-click upsells. You do not hear people talking about that anywhere near enough. It's really, really important. Okay, now I want to jump to the ad level, show you a couple of things. Let's bring up an example ad and this is just an example ad campaign I created before, by the way, guys, so you don't need to worry about this at all. So where are we? Oh, that's selected on use existing post. We don't want that. I don't know why it is. Let's go to create ad. Okay. So when you're creating a Facebook ad, one of the first things you're going to do is select the ad format. Now, a lot of people just think video performs best, and that's not actually true. What I would say, and this is particularly the case with e-commerce, is that the ad format should reflect the price point of your product. In that, more expensive products need more complex ads, simpler products need simpler ads. So if you're selling something for just $15, $20, that's an impulse purchase. Most people can buy that without really thinking about it too much. You want a simple ad format, something like a single image or even a carousel, something where they can glance at it, they get the idea, I'm interested, I'm not, I go and buy, I don't, etc., etc. If you're offering something more expensive, you know, something that's $150, or perhaps something that people aren't familiar with, they don't know how it works, that's when I want more complex ad formats. So that's when I want to use things like videos, slideshows, particularly explainer videos, demonstration videos for e-commerce works really, really well. And you may also want to use longer copy in your ad. So when you're writing in your text section, I've selected carousel, so it's a little bit different. But if I go back to single image, a format you guys will more readily appreciate. There we go, primary text. When you're entering your primary text information, again, cheaper, less expensive products, 1 or 2, maybe 3 lines just to get across the main benefits, emphasize the sale, something like that, get to purchase. More complex things that are going to take more thought, more reasoning, more convincing to purchase, add in more text. So complexity ad with match the price point. And I think that should save a lot of you guys that are creating very complex videos and things a lot of time. If you're selling inexpensive e-commerce products, stick to images and more simple ad formats. That's number 3, fairly simple. And then number 4, which is probably the biggest one. If you've stuck around this long, well done, because it's probably the biggest, most important key to success when it comes to Facebook ads for e-commerce. And that is that you want to be constantly running a special offer, but a limited time special offer. This is so, so important. You can halve your cost per purchase by doing this alone. So how do you do that? How do you constantly run a special offer but have it limited time only? What we love to do is we will, let's say, we might set up offers on a monthly basis. So we might say for the month of September, we are offering 30% off this product range or this particular product. So the special offer, the discount, helps grab people's attention and makes it seem like a better deal, which it is. But the time frame on it, you have to do this by the end of the month. That makes such a big difference because there's so much to do with Facebook advertising where people are on their phone waiting in a line somewhere. They're in their car, waiting to pick someone up. They're, maybe sat on the toilet. They're just grabbing it at any time and just having a quick look, right? A lot of times people won't purchase something, not because they're not interested, but it's just not a great time. They haven't got their wallet to hand. It's a bit difficult. If you have a limited time offer, it makes people buy there and then. Oh, I don't want to miss out on that. I don't want to pay 30% more if I wait another week. They go ahead and buy. So you have something like 30% off for the September only for this product range. Then in October, or you could do it even more frequently than this, maybe every week, maybe every 2 weeks, something like that, you change up the offer. So instead of 30% off that particular product or product range, you do buy 2, get 1 free, on a different product range or a different product, okay? So not only are you changing the products that are being discounted, but you're also changing the structure of the offer. You know, got 30% off in one case, buy two, get one free. It helps keep it fresh when people are seeing ads over and over again and stop just going, oh, they're always running a 25% discount. They're always running a 40% discount, something like that. You could even have another offer in the next month or the next couple of weeks where it's like, if you buy this product, we'll throw in this other product completely free. Something along those lines. So those are 3 different types of offers. And then if you combine those with doing that on different products or product ranges within your store, you can have a whole year of offers there really easily, okay? And that's how you're constantly running special offers, discounted offers on a limited time basis. A lot of people constantly run special offers, but they just leave them going. The limited time is everything. And what you'll often see when you do that, let's say it's the end of September, the end of a month, is your sales will shoot up right at the end of the month. Your results will be fantastic because, of course, people don't want to miss out. They want to take action, and everyone loves to procrastinate. A special offer that has a limited time removes the ability for people to be able to procrastinate easily. So yeah. So hopefully that's been useful. Before you go, a couple of free things I want to quickly mention. First is my free webinar called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. And in this webinar, we're breaking down 3 different sales funnels that have produced fantastic results for our clients. We've sort of explained which sales funnel you want to use depending on your particular type of business. So there's one in there for e-commerce, for example. Strongly recommend you check it out, completely free. A link is in the video description below. The other free thing is my Facebook Ads Mastermind group. Free Facebook group, almost 50,000 members, which is absolutely amazing. I do free live trainings in there. People are asking questions, getting them answered all the time. Amazing community, really helping each other out. Again, free to join, links in the video description. We would love to have you be part of that community. Go ahead and join, and we'd love to have you in there. If you found this video useful, please, again, give it a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and you haven't done so. And of course, comment below to let me know if this was useful. Comment below if you've got any questions, all that sort of stuff. Best of luck with your Facebook advertising campaign, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.